See, the beauty of this program is that we can select none and we can reposition the lights. Like I said, they're easier to position one at a time. Say there's a drum solo and we know it and we were at practice. Actually, we don't want to use the left. We'll put the left one on the keyboard. And then we'll put the right one on the drum set. It seems to be able to light it better. Alright, so now we have our next scene set up. And now, like I said, you can either add shapes to make them do whatever you want, or you can position them yourself. Right now I'm teaching you to position them yourself. But like I said, you can have them just stay in the center and add a random or a square or whatever you want to make them move. But I'm going to teach you how to do everything yourself so that eventually if you do just want to throw a random up, it's a lot easier, it's simpler. You might as well learn the hard way so that the easy way is easy. Alright, so we selected everything because we've created our next scene. Now we press record and we want to go to the same cue list that we created and click it again. So now you notice there was a 1, now there's a 2. Okay, so that means we have 2 scenes set up so far. So now we're going to go in here and I'm just going to change and make a few scenes. Just going to mix everything up. Now I'm trying to keep everything on the stage so that you can see it in the video. We can aim them at the seats in the crowd to light the crowd. That's always a good effect during worship. Alright, I got another scene set up. So we're going to select all of our lights. We're going to press record. We're going to add another scene. Now you don't have to adjust the scrim every single time. That's just if every scene you want different truss lighting, you can. Or you can leave it the same and just have the intelligent lights change their positions. So I'm going to go ahead and just move them both at the same time. Put them there. Create another cue. Make sure to deselect everything because you don't want to change something that you're not meaning to. And that's one thing about this program is if you take the time to make sure you do it right, then you don't have to do it twice. Now if you notice, the lights were hitting the screens. We usually have words or graphics or something up on the screens, and that's gonna affect that. If they're hitting it a tiny bit, say there's a drum solo and you gotta have it over there, and it's just they're barely hitting, then I mean that might be fine. You might want to test it out with the whole lighting system on. Today I'm just teaching you the intelligent lights and the LED lights only. We have our soundboard or our lighting board over here that controls the lighting on the roof, on the ceiling, that actually lights the whole stage. But this video is just for the intelligent lights. So like I said, we don't want to have them on the screens. Alright, that'll be another scene. Let's create one more with different scrim, because we've left the scrim the same. We'll do my favorite look. We'll do green trusses, blue scrim, and green spotlights. So we started off with the lights in the middle of the stage. So we're going to finish with the lights in the middle of the stage. So that if we were doing worship, if we came in while they were practicing, we could program a whole thing to whatever song they were doing to be the whole length of that song, which would be cool. It's kind of like running a concert. You know, they go in, the band comes in, they play, they add the lighting for guitar solos and drum solos and all that. We're not that intricate, but it's with this program it's possible, which is awesome. So one day we could get to that level, which is exciting. Alright, now I have my spot in the middle. We're going to make this our last scene. So we do record, and we save our cue. Now, we just created all these. So now what we want to do is, we want to clear this to clear the memory. Because this will interfere with the program buttons over here. I can't tell you why. I believe that this basically overturns any pre-programmed, so that if you were running a program and you needed to do something that wasn't in the program, you could switch over and run it manually if you had to. But even at the end of that, you're going to want to press the clear button down here to clear the memory. Now, that would be a bad thing if you're in worship and you set it up manually and you press the clear button, because if you notice, the entire stage went dark. So that's a pre-program that I have. So let's check out this program. Now if you notice, all these are halted, which what that's going to do is you can turn on this one. Now, really quick, I had this program running and I clicked on this program. If you notice, the trusses are yellow, the scrim's blue, and the spotlights are green. If you hold this, it shuts off this program. Notice that, okay, I don't know exactly why that happened. Oh, because I forgot to put this up. This is the master. If this isn't up, it won't run the program. But also, say you wanted to dim the program slowly, you just drag this down. So now our program that we just made is running. Say we start this program. Notice how it kind of does half of this program and half of this program. So if we hold the play button to shut it off, you'll notice that this program now starts to take effect. Now the trusses are green, not yellow. So, and vice versa too. If we click program on that and turn this one off, they're gonna go to this program now. Okay, so with all these being halted, what that is it's only going to stay on one. It's not going to move. It's not going to do anything unless you click the next button or the play button. It'll go to the next scene that we created. So now we're on scene 2 of 6 that we created. So if we press again, it goes to scene 3, 4, 5, and 6. So those are all the scenes that we created. Now, that would be cool for like the message. If Pastor Micah is up on stage during Rev Church and we start off with this, and say 5 minutes into it, we want to mix it up a little bit, we click to the next scene. And then that's the way the lighting is for a while. You know, so we go another 5 minutes of him preaching and we want to change it up, we click to the next one. And it's just kind of a cool effect to keep it interesting. But like I said, we also don't want to distract, especially from the message. So that's why if we do change the lighting during the message, it's got to be very soft, very subtle, not to distract people from what the pastor is saying. Now, say we want this to play, like we want it to loop, we want it to, what it's called in here, it's called chase. If we want it to chase, we can leave these on halt because chase is going to take those over. So you notice how it went from halt to chase, and also we have loop on. So now if we press this, it's just going to cycle through all 6 scenes. Now if you notice, everything's just kind of flickering through all the scenes that we set. It's not stopping, it's not halting on any, it's just cycling through. Doesn't look that great. There are certain scenes that you will be able to set up that you can just put on chase and it's going to look good. This that we set up isn't meant to have it chase. I'm just showing you that setting. So because these are halted, they're not going to go from 1 to 2 to 3 to 4 to 5 to 6. Now, if we double click on these, we see that it changes it to follow. So if we make them all follow, what that's going to do is this one is going to go to this one, and so on and so on, so on, so on. It's going to cycle through all 6. Now, these are set to 5 seconds. So let's leave the first one on 5 seconds. We will change the second one to 2 seconds. Let's change this one to 10 seconds. We'll change this one to, I don't want to make this video longer than it has to be. So we'll change it to 7 seconds. Change this one to 3 seconds. And we'll change this one to 15 seconds. Now, if we select click play, it's going to cycle through those at the time ratios that we set. See right here, that one's up for 10 seconds. Now it's going to shift. This one's going to be up for 7. This one's going to be up for 3. And this one's up for 15. Now because we have these all on follow, once the last one is done, it's going to loop back to the beginning because we have the last one on follow. Say we wanted it to stop on the last one. We put the last one on halt. And when it gets to the last one, it should stop. There we go. Now see, it's halted on 6 and it's going to stay there. Now that's good for like I was saying, if you programmed a whole worship song onto one of these programs down here, when the song starts, you just press play and it would play through all the programs that you set through the whole song, and then if you put halt at the end of that song, it would halt, which would be perfect because then you could have the next song programmed on the next one, which then you would press the play button on that one when the song starts and hold this one to turn that program off, and it would start the next song. Now, whether that's a slow song, a fast song, that depends on how you set up and how you set your scenes and stuff like that. This one would be a nice slow song. It just kind of moves around slowly. It's not too distracting for worship. So that's pretty much it. Now, that's the basics. That's how to set your scenes up. That's how to make them follow each other, chase each other, and also halt. Now, like what's on the stage right now, that is a halt. Right here you can see it's in yellow. It's halted on that, and the reason that's created is for when people are coming in and everything's starting up. It's nice to just be able to press one button and the stage is ready. So all you do is you walk in, you start the program up, it loads up, you press the button, and you're ready to go. That's what we want to try to accomplish. We want to try to accomplish making the lighting as easy as possible, but yet look as good as possible. So most likely what we're going to do is we're going to have like a couple stills set up so that we have a couple different lighting, lights to be able to go to that are stills that don't move. They're just there for anything, offering, preaching, anything like that. So we could have 3 different ones set up where the intelligent lights are a different color, they're in different positions, the scrim is a different color, and the trusses are all different colors, so that we're not trying to, during service, select the scrims and change the colors and stuff. That gets real hard. Plus, like I said, if we go to run this program, because we set the trussing isn't changing now. Now if we clear this, you'll notice that the trussing goes to what it's supposed to be programmed at. And actually it's not even fully at that program because this program is running. So now only this program is running, and it's running the correct way. Forgot to bring the menu bar up, or the master switch up. Now I want to show you, instead of making a nice simple like stage look, I'm going to teach you how to make it go crazy. Alright, so we're going to set up some new different scenes. Alright, so we got these selected. I'm going to turn our beam on so that they stay on. We're going to pick our colors. I'm a big fan of green and blue. We're going to get our intelligent lights on. We'll go with something a little cooler. Alright, so these I'm not going to worry about positioning them too much because I'm going to apply one of these on there. So let's start off a little slow for like a worship song. Say a worship song gets crazy at the end, but it starts off kind of slow. We'll tone it down so it just kind of moves around the middle of the stage. Remember, we press record. We pick the one that we want to program. Now our first scene is set up. I'm just going to change the position. Now see, I'm having a little trouble with the lights because I have them going in a circle. So with positioning them, I turn it off for a minute. We'll leave this one on the stage. We'll make this one go into the crowd. I'm going to shut the lights off so that you can see it on the chairs. Alright, so now that I got them positioned where I kind of want them to go, I'll turn them back on. Alright, press record, add to our cue list. Alright, now the song's picking up, so let's change the trussing. Let's change the color of the gobos, of the intelligent lights. Change them to blue. Now let's change their positions. Since we have them both selected, let's turn them off so they stay still. We'll adjust them one at a time now. And I'll have them both come back to the stage. But I'm going to separate them. Instead of having them both in the middle, I'm going to have them set for both sides of the stage. Select them both, and then I'm going to add a shape to them. Now, because the song's going to pick up around here, I'm going to turn these up. Alright, this one's ready. Record. We added that one. Shape off so I can position them. Now let's go fully on into the crowd. Now one cool thing is because we have those shapes, you can just aim it right there at the middle aisle. Getting them both right there in the middle. Select them both. Let's change the color. Change them to white. Why not? Go back to position. We'll add yeah, that's a little too crazy. Let's crank it all the way up. Now it's hard to see in the video, but they're going on the walls, they're going all over the seats, they're even up on the stage a little. It's not a bad setting. Alright, select them, press record, set the next scene, turn them off, let's reposition them. Put them on the front of the stage. So same thing, just a little closer to the stage. Just change the color. Tone them down to keep them on the stage. Record, set that scene. Alright, now the song is climaxing. So let's make those bright. Let's go to beam and let's turn up the strobe. Say it's like the big finale or something of the song. Let's turn them on like this, so they're not too fast, but they're kind of fast. Now I find that this square seems to be the craziest one that we got, the shape. Just a warning, you might have a seizure. Alright, let's set this scene. Now let's do one last one. You know, we haven't changed the gobos in here for a minute, so let's change those to something big. Alright. Change the color too. We're just having fun. the strobe all the way up. We can even have the middle scrim strobe slower than the trusses. Give it a cool look. Right, select them all, record, set. Now we can turn our seizure off. We're going to bring this up so that we can run the program. First, let's go into it. Let's change all of these to, whoops. We have to go into edit to be able to change these. Let's change them all to follow. This will be our grand finale for the video. So let's make it cool. And we're ready. Make sure we cleared everything. And let's go down. Press play. This is how we can make Rev Church awesome. We don't do all this stuff in Sunday morning. We add, obviously we do the scrims and the trusses. And we want to start using the intelligent lights to spice it up a little bit. But maybe not this much. But as we start using the lights differently and in different ways and to accomplish different things or lighting effects, all of this will be useful to make our stage look awesome. Now after this next one runs, I've programmed it to halt, but if we were in service, I don't want to give everybody seizures and leave it on too long. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to close this program by holding the play button. So that's running our last one. Leave it up for a minute. Song's coming to a close. Hold play, let it start shutting the program down, and throw up this one. Well, thank you for joining me today. You have a great day, and I'll see you at church.